How's it? Neil Everett here. We're welcoming me and David Riley, the head coach of the Washington State Cougars. It's all about the 509 Classic, December 17th, Spokane Arena. A 3-year deal between the two schools. Coach, from a Spokane community standpoint, from a Washington State alum standpoint in Spokane County and all places with that you're drivable, flyable, why is this a big deal?
Well, I just the alumni base in the area is incredible. Like I spent 13 years at Eastern Washington and obviously now at Washington State, and every time I go to Spokane, there's a lot of Cougs and a lot of Eagles out there, and I just think it's great for the community, and it's kind of gotten lost in college basketball now with the regional games and the regional rivalries, and just excited to keep that going, and I think it's going to be a really fun game.
What's your expectation from your Cougar fan base?
Man, just to show up and be loud. Like I think that's what makes Washington State what it is. Like I think there's a lot of passion in this fan base, and there's so many alums in Spokane. It's a chance for these guys to get out and see old friends and go do what Cougs do.
You mentioned Eastern. I mean, you went to Whitworth. You practically grew up at Eastern Washington, coaching basketball there, all the way from a GA to the head coach. You played last season, second season of playing your former team. How weird is it still?
It was pretty different. Last year I had at least 5 or 6 guys that stayed at Eastern, and then I had 4 guys that transferred from Eastern to play for me last year. So there was a lot of emotion on both sides, and guys talk some trash, and just a friendly game, of a friendly and competitive game. And I think there's a few less people that are playing that played for me at Eastern now, but it's a fun time to before the game walk out and see all the people you used to work with, and just getting back to Spokane, a lot of people in the stands, and people that have supported me and supported us on this whole journey, and it's just cool to be able to do that in front of them.
What does your squad have to do better to be better come December 17th at the 509 Classic?
Man, the message is that it's pretty simple what we got to do. It's not going to be easy, and the margins are just really thin at this level. And so when you look at these games, there's one possession each that we can change on offense, and one possession each we can change on defense. Well, that's 10 or 11 possessions, and that's the difference between us losing by 10 and winning by 10. And I think these guys are more than capable of it. And it's the tough part about college basketball right now is there's no one that had significant playing time for me last year that's on this roster, and they're all learning, they're going through the fire, and they're learning the same mistakes. I'm looking at notes from 3, 4 years ago, and it's like, dang, we are going through fighting the same battles we did back then, and we're one step away. And so I think just having a little bit more presence defensively, and lowering some field goal percentage stuff, and getting the ball zipping around a little bit more offensively. This is one of our lower assist years, and I think that's something that we just got to tighten up a little bit, and play for each other a little bit more.
You mentioned dudes you had last year. One of them, Cedric Coward, first-round draft pick. He is killing it in the NBA. How close are you paying attention to what he's doing in Memphis?
Man, I was just sitting looking at his percentages with our assistant Pedro Garcia Rosado, and we're tracking him. We watch his clips on Synergy when we can, and it's fun. It's fun to catch up with him and just kind of hear what he's going through, and it's crazy, man. He came on his visit as a D3 player, so I played at Whitworth, and he played in my league at Willamette, and to have him on the visit, sit there and look us in the eyes and say his goal is to go to the NBA, and how are you going to help me get there? From that moment to where he is now, like only he's the only person, maybe his family, that really truly believed in that vision, and it's just crazy every time talking to him to see him doing it now.
Yeah, I actually went to Willamette for 2 years. NBA guys don't go to Willamette.
Wow. Okay, so you're out in
You know.
Salem for stuff. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and then I was an SID at Hawaii Pacific, which was an NAIA school.
Yep.
And so we played the Whitworths and the Willamettes and Lewis and Clarks and all those. So, and I remember as an SID, guys would come in and it'd be like, "So what's your goal?" And they'd be like, "To play in the NBA." And I'd be thinking to myself, dude, you wouldn't be here if you were going to play in the NBA. And yet Cedric Coward is the prime example. If you dream big, you can accomplish big things. It's really impressive, man. I'm really bummed. He got drafted by Portland. I work for the Trailblazers. I was like, all right. And then 5 minutes later, oh no. But
Yeah.
all right. Hey, you recently took your team to Maui, played in the Maui Invitational. What'd you learn about your team on that trip?
Man, kind of similar stuff to what we're going through right now is just these little lessons on the fragility of the game, and I think when you got a new team, you got to go through those. But we also learned how good we can be. We went toe to toe with Arizona State. I think we put up 94, gave up I think 100 or something like that. So show we can play offensively at that level. Defensively, we started doing some really good things the last couple of games, but I think it opened our eyes to what we needed to do defensively. And when you're getting tested like that against teams like Seton Hall and Arizona State, and you're watching games before that of all these high level teams, it's just it really shows you and exposes to what you need to work on and get better.
Well, I guess Arizona State's a good jumping off point for the folks who don't know who Ace Glass is. Why is he worth the price of admission come December 17th at the 509 Classic?
The dude can fill it up. I mean, he's one of the. I think he's got to be the highest rated recruit that I've been able to coach as a freshman. So he's got the talent, and he walked in the door able to score and able to make these plays. What I've been impressed with is his mindset. Like every 2 weeks, I challenge him, and he comes in and takes the next step. And so he went and had 40 in the Maui Invitational, and we're challenging him now to how to make that consistent, how to make that scoring threat consistent, how to be a little bit more of a presence defensively. And it's been just a joy to watch him come in every day and get better at that stuff.
Yeah, that 40 broke the Wazoo freshman basketball record for points in a game. If your name's Ace Glass, you better have game in something, and he's got it for your Cougs. If we just met, we're sitting on a plane together, or sitting at Jack and Dan's together, and you introduce yourself, and I ask you what you do, and you say I coach Washington State basketball, and I ask you like, what are you all about as a coach and a leader of a program? How would you answer?
Just trying to help people. Like I think that as a coach, that's your job, especially at this level. Like there's a bunch of guys that come into college that have really clear goals, and I think our guys come in with that. And if we get guys that have goals that are fairly aligned, like my job is just to individually help these guys get better and have a good time doing it. Like we're not doing something that's life or death. We're playing hoops, and we're get to be part of a family, and just trying to make sure we reemphasize that every day. And when we do that, we have a good time and win some games along the way. So I don't know. It's just try to not take ourselves too serious, and help these guys live their dream.
What do you know about Eastern?
Uh, Man, it's whenever they're on, I'm gonna turn that game on and follow them, and I'm rooting for them every game until we go play them. So uh, it's fun to watch these Monson get to coach these guys up. They've got a lot of new faces on that team, and I think they play really hard. Like at the end of the day, they've had some good offensive games. They've had some defensive games where they've really locked teams up. But I've just been impressed with how physical and how hard they play.
You talked about letting kids live their dreams. Where are you on living your dream as a coach?
I mean, I can't ask for anything better to go in and be around 18 to 22-year-old kids. I guess now it's like 18 to 25-year-old kids, but just be able to be a part of this and enjoying every day. Like it's gonna be fun to go back to Spokane and play in front of friends and family, and go see what this is all about when in year two.
Now, before you play, you got to have a pregame meal. Like I'll go to Dick's and get a whammy. Where will you take where will you take your guys for a pregame meal? What are some of your favorite spots in Spokane?
Man, that's a good question. You already mentioned Jack and Dan's. That was my that was one of my first places I went when I came up to Spokane one of these summers. My dad went to Gonzaga Prep, so I would go up to Spokane every summer growing up, and um, Jack and Dan's is always an easy one. I don't know if I can support them as a Washington State guy anymore with all their Gonzaga ties, so I got to be careful with that. Um, Man, I like the Elk. I'll take our guys to the Elk. It's a little spot down in Browns Edition that I've always really enjoyed. So I'm not too much downtown. Try to go to the offsite places. Now,
You mentioned your dad went to Gonzaga Prep.
don't you have a meal named after you, or
Go ahead.
do you have a dish named after you at the Davenport? Is that right?
No, that's Sean
Oh,
Farnham.
that's Sean Farnham. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Sean Farnham's got a flatbread named after him. I may have a cocktail named after me there, though, with the amount of time I've sat at the bar. So I'm sure, when you sit down and all of a sudden the drink's in front of you, that's pretty much they've named that cocktail after you. You mentioned your dad went to Gonzaga Prep. My stepdad was actually the Gonzaga Prep head basketball coach for a number of years. Dave Robertson. He coached at Shadle and at Gonzaga Prep.
No way. I mean, yeah, I got a
Yeah.
lot of Spokane ties. I don't know who my dad was playing for. He was back in the days with Terry Kelly, and they had a good team.
Terry Kelly. God, oh, my God. I remember watching Brian Rakofsky, Terry Kelly.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
back in the day. And I remember going out to Eastern, and when Jerry Krause was coaching, I remember going down to Wazoo when Coach Raveling was there, Coach Sampson, Hawaii Pacific. We came down and played against Coach Sampson. He beat us by about 50.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, there's all that's, and isn't that the beauty of this event? It's two schools, but it's really one area, and everybody roots for everybody except when they're playing each other.
It's so true. I mean, I get a little hurt when I walked down last year and I saw some of my really good friends in some Eagle gear, and I was like, dang, I guess they like me. They like Eastern a little bit more than they like me. But no, I think it's just a really fun event. It's what basketball is all about: bringing people together, bringing the community together, and um, it's going to be a fun one out there.
All right, it's the 509. Go to 509classic.com. Are you gonna First of all, you're gonna bring some Cougar Gold up. Got to bring some Cougar Gold.
I just made a giant purchase of Cougar Gold. I'm sending it out to all my friends, and it's an easy Christmas gift. Everyone loves it. I don't have to go too
Oh,
far. Just went over to Ferdinand's and stocked up. So we'll bring some down to
what a
Spokane.
great gift that is. There you go. All right. 509classic.com for the Cougs fans. You hit the Cougs section on the computer. That'll give you seats. $10 of every ticket goes to your NIL account. Coach, how important is that?
I mean, it's what we need right now. I think when you look at every college basketball team, the ones that have retention and the ones that can bring back guys that have played minutes and been through the fire before are the ones that have success. And we're kind of going through that right now. We lost a few guys to the portal to bigger schools, and obviously Cedric to the NBA. And I think that's something that we just need, that continuity. And the only way to do that is through the NIL.
All right. It's a rally cry for Cougs Nation, December 17th, 509 Classic, Spokane Arena. David Riley, Wazoo head men's basketball coach. Thanks for sharing your time with us.
Go Cougs.